Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. It's Friday, May 2nd, 2025, and these are your Unbiased Updates. Today is the day when the duty-free exemption on millions of Chinese and Hong Kong products coming into the United States ends. How the tariffs that will be levied are prompting fears of higher prices for consumers and delivery delays. And the Trump administration appears to lose a key tool when it comes to its crackdown on foreign gangs and deportations. How the administration might deal with not being able to use the Alien Enemies Act.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
Effective today, the Trump administration has officially ended a loophole that let Americans keep buying cheap goods from China without having to pay tariffs. Under the provision, shipments were exempt from President Donald Trump's 145% tariffs on Chinese goods on products under $800 that were sent directly to consumers or small businesses in the United States. More and more companies have used the rule to get their products to the U.S. since President Trump imposed duties on Chinese goods during his first term. And its use has increased in recent weeks since the newest tariffs took effect. But not anymore. During a cabinet meeting at the White House on Wednesday, the president called the loophole a scam. Not only does the Trump administration say the growing use of the loophole threaten American warehouse and logistics jobs, it also accuses drug traffickers of exploiting it by sending precursor chemicals and other materials used to make fentanyl into the U.S. without having to provide shipping details. A federal judge who was appointed by President Trump during his first term says the president's use of an 18th century wartime law to deport alleged gang members is unlawful. U.S. District Judge Fernando Rodriguez Jr. of Texas wrote in an opinion on Thursday that while he does not question the president's authority to detain and remove aliens who engage in criminal activity, he believes the administration's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act exceeds the scope of the law. President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act to target members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which the Trump administration claims is invading the United States. The ruling only applies to Alien Enemies Act-based deportations and does not prevent the government from detaining or seeking the deportation of people under the Immigration and Nationality Act. Just after the Trump administration hit the 100-day mark, a major personnel shakeup. Mike Waltz will no longer serve as National Security Advisor. However, Waltz is staying in the administration. President Trump has nominated him to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. While the president did not give a reason for the change, it comes amid concerns from both sides of the aisle over the use of the Signal messaging app to discuss national security matters, including the recent bombing of Houthi rebels in Yemen. Waltz took the blame for a group chat that accidentally included the editor-in-chief of the Atlantic media outlet. President Trump has not yet named who will replace Waltz, but in the meantime, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be pulling double duty to fill the role. In order to officially become the ambassador to the UN, the Senate must approve Waltz. President Trump has signed an executive order aimed at what he believes are biased news organizations. The order tells the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to cease federal funding for the Public Broadcasting Service, known as PBS, as well as National Public Radio, or NPR. In a post on X, the White House said they both receive millions of dollars from taxpayers to spread, quote, radical woke propaganda disguised as news. It also states, at the very least, Americans have the right to expect that if their tax dollars fund public broadcasting at all, they fund only fair, accurate, unbiased, and nonpartisan news coverage. The broadcasting entities receive about $500 million in public money from the Center for Public Broadcasting. The president and CEO of PBS had been fighting the impending cuts, saying in a statement that PBS has bipartisan support in Congress and supports enriching and inspiring programs of the highest quality. Critics also contend that President Trump is using his federal powers to control institutions that have differing political viewpoints from his. Across the world, Israel's Air Force struck near Syria's presidential palace early Friday after warning Syrian authorities not to march toward villages inhabited by members of a minority sect in the southern part of the country. The Israeli army said fighter jets struck near the palace of President Ahmad al-Sharaa in Damascus, but gave no further details. Friday's strike marks Israel's second on Syria this week. It comes after days of deadly clashes between pro-Syrian government gunmen and fighters who belong to the Druze minority sect. In a joint statement, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz said the strike was a message to Syrian leaders, quote, "We will not allow the deployment of forces south of Damascus or any threat to the Druze community." Finally this morning, as you get used to the new and improved Straight Arrow News website and app, we have another change to tell you about.
Straight Arrow News has a new look, and we're taking deep dives into the issues that impact you. So be sure to check out our three-part series on the demise of American pharmacies.
Did you know roughly 1 in 3 retail pharmacies across the United States have closed since 2010? It's part of a bigger issue that's taking a toll on the nation's healthcare system. In a special report coming out today, Ray Bogan dives into the role of pharmacy benefit managers and how they impact Americans trying to look after their health. So look for that. Those are your Unbiased Updates for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, we hope you have a great weekend. I'm Craig DeGrelli. Enjoy your Friday as well.